Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Olson Stadium on the campus of Buckeye Union High School for tonight's WNFC TV Game of the Week. Derek Diesner and Brittany Boyer here with you tonight as we have entered Week 7, the final season of the regular season for the WNFC, as the Phoenix Prowlers return home for the final time this season, and they welcome La Muerte de la Cruces to town. Phoenix enters this ball game with a record of 0-4 overall, as La Muerte de las Cruces is 3-2 on the season. These two teams, Brittany, squared off last weekend in New Mexico, with Phoenix falling by a final of 52-0. They're looking for their first win tonight, and what a way to end the regular season, but to get a win and get a win here at home.
Oh, it's going to be a big game for them for sure. Having just played them last week, it's going to be fresh in their head. They just saw them. They're going to know a little bit more of what to expect. But, who says you have to wait for the fall for football? Here we are, June, a little bit hot, but you know what? I'm happy to be here. I'm excited, and I'm ready to watch some great ladies play some great football.
The sun is beginning to set, but we'll probably have the sun for at least the entirety of the first quarter. Current temperature here in Buckeye, 108 degrees, so it is warm outside. Sunset supposed to occur around 7:43 later this evening. Phoenix in their home gray tops and gray bottoms with purple trim, purple letters and numbers, while the La Muerte de las Cruces have their road white tops and it looks like black and teal bottoms here this evening. We're getting set for the teams to meet at the 50-yard line, the captains, that is, as we'll have the opening coin toss, and the opening kickoff is just a few minutes away. For your Phoenix Prowlers, their captains, their game day captains today will be Christina Morgan and Chelsea Slater. Their regular team captains are Trina Wilson, Danielle Harrison, and Victoria Hernandez Trevino. Your Prowlers are led by head coach Joe Ramirez. He is assisted by Ben Silva, who will serve as the offensive coordinator, Angel Silva, the defensive coordinator, Abe Davila, the special teams coach, Ruben Silva serves as the offensive line and defensive line coach, and Frank Mendez is the running back coach for your Phoenix Prowlers.
Number 12, Danielle Harrison. Number 24,
Again,
Nicole
La Muerte de las Cruces, 3-2 overall on the year. Phoenix Prowlers 0-4 on the year. The Prowlers have been shut out since week 1, a road game in Salt Lake City when they put up 13 points. They'll look to get on the scoreboard here and hopefully get their first win of this season as well, as the teams head out to the 50-yard line for the opening coin flip. The playoffs are already set. 4 teams qualify for the postseason, 2 out of each division. Here in the West Division, it's been the 2 teams that have clinched a playoff spot are 2 teams that the Phoenix Prowlers have seen a few times this season. Those are the San Diego Rebellion as well as the Utah Falcons. The Falcons and Rebellion are both undefeated on the season. In the Eastern Division, 1 team has clinched, but there's 2 teams battling neck and neck, and we'll have to see what their final results are today to see who claims that 4th and final playoff spot. Championship game will be played later in August, I believe, in Dallas, Texas. We'll take a look in at the coin flip, and Las Cruces has won the toss, and they will receive to begin this game. Brittany, one big thing for this Phoenix Prowlers team will definitely be a quick start in this contest. In their other home contest this season, about 5 weeks ago against San Diego, we really saw the Prowlers struggle to get anything going offensively in the first half. In that first half, they never even crossed the 50-yard line, so they really need to get going here offensively early in this contest.
Well, I think that's exactly right, but it's going to feed off of their defense. I think if their defense gets a strong start here and is able to get a stop against the Las Cruces offense, I think it's going to really give the Prowlers offense a lot more momentum going out there onto the field to get things started. As we already mentioned, they just recently saw each other last week, so a lot of stuff is still fresh in their mind. So hopefully that will work out in the Prowlers' benefit when it comes to their offensive play calling.
Uriah Morgan will kick things away for the Prowlers as Las Cruces will move from left to right on your screen here in the first half. Back deep to return is Nicole Matheson and Regina Escoto. Could also see Waishana Brooks get in on the return. One thing to know early on in this ball game is Las Cruces does not have a kicker, so they will not go for any extra points. They go for 2 on every score. So you look at some of their scores this season and you look at some of the odd numbers that they're putting up. That is why. Ball is all teed up. We have the opening whistle. And we are just about underway here at Olson Stadium on the campus of Buckeye Union High School here in Buckeye, Arizona. The kick is up, and this will be returned from about the 25-yard line. Bounces off of Matheson. She'll get the ball back and is tackled out of bounds around the 14th starting field position for Las Cruces to get things started here this evening.
Not bad at all. You know, could have potentially been bad after she had let the ball hit her and then touch the ground with that fumble right there. But she was able to get it under control, pick the ball up, and keep rolling. So this is their chance for Las Cruces to set the tone offensively for themselves. And if Las Cruces wants to win, this is where they're going to really be able to get the game started for themselves. If they can have a strong opening drive, I think it will give them all the confidence going forward, whereas if the Prowlers are able to get a defensive stop, I think it's going to give them a strong edge.
Tori Tugaloa under center, and she'll flip it back to her tailback. And still on her feet across the 50, and she looks like she's going to take this to the house, is Nicole Matheson, and she is in there for a 61-yard rushing score on the first offensive play of the game. And Las Cruces takes the early lead 6-0 with 11:37 to go in this first quarter of play. One play, one score, and Las Cruces making it look easy here on the road. I was just about to say after that first offensive play that you have to watch out. They have a 3-headed monster at tailback for Las Cruces, not to mention quarterback Tori Tugaloa can run it as well. And she pitched it there to Nicole Matheson, who took it to the house for 6. As I stated earlier, they will attempt to go for 2. Ball is spotted at the 2-yard line. Tori Tugaloa shouting out the signal. She'll work out of the gun. Hands it off to her up back, trying to push forward, and she will be stopped. So a good stop by the Prowler defense keeps the score at 6-0. 27 seconds into this contest.
Well, they have to feel somewhat good about their special team effort if you are the Prowlers, being able to stop them on that 2-point conversion there. You know, you really only had that one chance. They only had the one play, and they were able to run it back for a touchdown. So, you know, second snap of the game, not quite too bad. You're able to clean things up a little bit. So we'll see if they can get things going offensively and if they can answer with a touchdown. That would be ideal. So let's see what the Prowlers have on the drawing board.
It looks like Bridget Ortega will kick it away for Las Cruces. Standing deep to return for the Prowlers will be Jasmine Thomas. Ortega looking around, waiting to get a ball. And now the back judge will run one out to her.
Team to receive for the Prowlers. Number 3,
A lot of Prowler fans in attendance tonight for this regular season finale. Some of the fans from Las Cruces decided to make the short 6-hour drive to cheer on their squad in what will also be their regular season finale, as they will just miss out on a postseason berth. Referees helping Las Cruces get lined up here for the kickoff. And it'll be a bouncer, bounces right over the head of the second line. It will be picked up by Jasmine Thomas, who is running all sorts of ways and finally is taken down around the 35-yard line, and that's where the Prowler offense will set up shop. Prowler's offense led by their captain and quarterback, Danielle Harrison. Jasmine Thomas, one of the tailbacks to keep an eye out for, along with Brooklyn Waddles and Chelsea Arnwine. Wide receivers, you have Captain Katrina Wilson, Shay Hall, and then their tight end, Bianca Corral. Harrison's only thrown for 81 yards on the season, still looking for her first passing touchdown. She'll work out of the gun. Receiver split out to each side. Couple of backs along with her in the backfield, and this play is whistled dead before it gets going. So be going against the Prowlers. False start call, and Brittany, this is what I was talking about from their previous home game. They moved in the wrong direction a lot in that first half of their first home game against San Diego, and we see that here on their first offensive possession. They've already moved back without even running a play.
Yeah. Well, you know, the Prowlers are a young team. This is a young league. So they still have a lot of room for growth, a lot of room for potential to improve, and to just clean up little things like those fouls that are making them lose plays, or lose yards on plays, I should say.
Brooklyn Waddles, who has recently transitioned to the running back position, was the ball carrier there, picks up a couple of yards, bringing up second down and long. Waddles, a two-way player, and you'll see that a lot with this Phoenix Prowlers team. She's also one of the linebackers for the Prowler defense and leads the team in tackles this season with 10.5. Second down and 12. 10.5 minutes remain in this first quarter, and another flag comes from the backfield. Looks like another false start going against the Prowlers.
False start against the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
And this is a young team, and we heard from head coach Joe Ramirez earlier today on the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, and try to give some confidence and excitement going into this regular season finale. But again, this is their first season. It has been a tough go of it, but this will be a learning experience, and we'll see how year 2 goes next season. The Prowlers just hoping to finish on a positive note as they'll see their season come to a close later this evening.
Third down.
5 minutes into this first quarter, 6-0, Las Cruces leading Phoenix.
Timeout. Prowlers.
And Phoenix will use a timeout with 9:36. We'll take a quick timeout along with them. 9:36 to go in this first quarter of play. 6-0, Las Cruces leads Phoenix here on the WNFC TV Game of the Week. Stadium, as the Prowlers currently trailing Las Cruces 6-0. We'll take a look at the WNFC rankings through week 7. Texas currently number 1, but then you see both San Diego and Utah in that top 5 at 2 and 4 respectively, and those are two teams that your Prowlers are very accustomed to seeing. Phoenix currently ranked 18th in the league, and Las Cruces at 9. 3rd down and 17 coming out of the timeout. Prowlers will look to keep this drive alive, and the pitch is handled after a few bounces, and now a fumble. Ball is loose, and it looks like falling on it is Chelsea Arnwine. That play was broken from the very get-go. It just looked like they were playing hot potato with the ball.
Yeah, it just looks like it didn't go well from the snap. It looked like, the snap was a little bit off, the toss was off, fumbled it on the toss. She caught it, though, and then was able to at least get them back to pretty much the line of scrimmage. But, yeah, that was a rough play for them. Could have been better if they would have just executed it a little bit cleaner. Probably could have picked up a couple more yards on that.
The Prowlers, we saw this in their last contest, they do tend to go for it a lot. They're having trouble getting lined up right now. It looks like they're lining up to punt, but nobody's standing deep. They're going to give it to the up back, and that's Brooklyn Waddles, who takes it just shy of the 40, and that'll be a turnover on downs. And fantastic starting field position for Las Cruces. That's something that head coach Joe Ramirez is going to want to look for in this offseason, is finding a punter, because that's really hurting this team this season, that they are not able to punt the ball away. They are forced to go for it, and then each time the opposition is getting to start with it with a short field.
Yeah, and I'm sure as this team grows more, as this league grows more, it will be easier to attract women to come out and play, especially punters, because if you've noticed, there are not very many, I should say, female football players in Arizona, but the ones that are here, for the most part, are kickers or punters. So I feel like in this upcoming off season, they should be able to go out to some of these high schools around here and talk to some of the former coaches, see if they have any girls that used to play for them, are going to play for them coming up, anything like that they might be able to get in contact with and start networking.
Yeah, just scope out the women's soccer scene, and you should be able to find a kicker and a punter pretty easily. 2nd down and 10, as that last pass fell harmlessly to the turf. A little sidearm action. It's good to the tailback. Across the 35, taking it inside the 30, still on her feet. Couple of stiff arms inside the 20 and taken down just shy of the 15-yard line. And that was Nicole Matheson. Matheson, who had that 61-yard touchdown rush to begin this ball game, has another big play there. And on 2 plays, she's getting close to that century mark for yardage in the game. That'll set up 1st down and 10. Ball will be spotted at the 15-yard line. Under 8 minutes to go in this first quarter of play. Las Cruces leading Phoenix 6-0. Under center is Tagaloa. Tagaloa will pitch it back to Regina Escoto. Escoto going to work the far side of the field, trying to get to the edge, and she is dragged down from behind inside the 10-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down and short.
And that was a nice tackle.
I almost wonder if that was going to be a horse collar the way she went down.
I was wondering the same thing, but she got her.
So it'll be 2nd down and 2. Ball will be spotted at the 9-yard line. Clock approaching the 7-minute mark to go in this first quarter. Tagaloa gives it to the fullback, pushing forward for a couple. That'll pick up the 1st down, bring up 1st down and goal for Las Cruces. So Las Cruces really picking up right where they left off from last week. Again, they put up 52 points on this Prowler defense, and they are attacking early in this contest. First and goal, inside the 10, pushing forward and dragged down just shy of the goal line. A good stop again by the Prowler defense, similar to what we saw in that 2-point conversion try. And now they'll give them the first down, so now it will be first and goal, ball spotted at the 4. Prowler defense really seems to tighten up with their backs to the wall. That's what you like to see, though. They're trying to stop Las Cruces from finding that end zone. Rolling to the far side is Tugaloa. Tugaloa's going to keep it, and she pitched it off at the last second, pushing forward and taken down just inside the 1 is the fullback, Sarai Cifuentes. There is a penalty marker down as a couple of the referees will talk this over. It's like the line judge and the head ref having some discussion. It's going against the Prowlers, and it will be declined.
Penalty against the defense will be declined.
Not a good start for the Prowlers. A lot of undisciplined plays with the early penalties. Halfway through this first quarter of play, and Las Cruces is on the doorstep of punching it in 4-6. Tugaloa lost it. Fumble. Ball's loose. Prowlers are going to pick it up and take it down at the 10-yard line. But the Phoenix Prowler defense coming up with a big stop and picking up the loose ball. And the offense will head back out to the field.
And I believe that was Jacqueline Hernandez, the defensive back, actually from Clovis, New Mexico herself, that picked up that fumble.
Big play made for the Phoenix Prowlers, and that'll energize the sideline. 5:39 to go in this first quarter of play. First down and 10 for the Prowlers, trailing by 6.
After a rough start, this is their opportunity to recollect themselves and move forward here.
They really need to use some clock here, just really run their offense. They didn't really seem to get into a flow on their first possession. We'll see what they can do here. Harrison rolls out, gives it off to her tailback, trying to work it to the near sideline. Few cuts and taken down just shy of the 15-yard line. I believe that was Jasmine Thomas. So Thomas will pick up about 4.
It looks like they're starting to get a little bit more comfortable out there and are starting to finally be able to generate some plays. So
out of the gun is Danielle Harrison on second down and 6. She has time, looks across the middle of the field, and this ball falls incomplete, bringing up third down and 6. It's a good idea, just unable to complete the pass.
And again, it looked like she just needed a little bit more time to relax. She didn't need to rush. She wasn't about to get sacked. Her line was protecting her. It's just a matter of relaxing, waiting for the receiver to get to where they're supposed to be, and then releasing. And those are, again, things that come with time when you get a little bit more comfortable being out there, a little bit more comfortable practicing with your team. more seasons you have spent together, the more time that the league's been established, all of that plays into that. So
On 3rd and 6, she'll give it to Waddles, who is taken down in the backfield, bringing up 4th down and long. And again, here's where that issue comes up, not having a punter. You have the ball inside the 10. We'll see if they just let Danielle Harrison try to punt this thing away, because it's going to be tough trying to go for it here. You don't want to give Las Cruces this short of a field.
no, not at all.
The clock is running. 4:10 to go in this first quarter of play. 4th down and 8 for the Prowlers. They trail 6-0. By the gun is Danielle Harrison. 2 receivers up top. Harrison's flanked by a back. She'll roll to the far side, and she will punt it. A short punt. This will be returned from the 33-yard line. Across the 30, inside the 20, 15-10, pushed out of bounds around the 10-yard line. On the return was number 14, Linnell Scarborough. And Las Cruces will have fantastic starting field position here with 3:37 to go in this first quarter of play. But you gave the Prowler defense a little bit of time to catch their breath. We'll see if they can come up with another big stop on this possession.
Well, not only did you give the Prowler defense a little bit of a break, but you also gave your girls a little bit of experience with some more special teams play. Even if you don't have a punter next year, at least you're getting your quarterback the ball. You're getting the rest of your players a little bit more acclimated with special teams plays if your quarterback decides to punt the ball on a 4th down. Anything like that is always going to be helpful the more time that you have. So, honestly, I think the more that the game goes on, we could see that improve as well. But no matter what, they got a little bit of experience getting a special teams playoff, and they're still back at exactly where they started, pretty much at the 10-yard line. So what more can you really ask for? It's not really a game, but it's also not a loss.
Phoenix Prowlers were forced to use yet another timeout, and now they're down to just 1 timeout with 3:37 to go in this first quarter of play. Las Cruces still with all 3 of their timeouts. We'll take a break with them and be back right after this on the WNFC TV Game of the Week. First down and 10 coming out of the timeout. Tagaloa out of the gun. She'll look to the far side, and this pass almost intercepted. She didn't have enough zip on that pass. It just hung up in the air, and she was lucky that one was not intercepted.
93 Chelsea Slater defending on the play.
And is there another timeout used?
Who called the timeout? We did? No, he did. He put it that way.
Timeout on the play.
Another timeout called with 3:32 in this first quarter of play. We'll take another quick break. Be back right after this. 2nd down and 10. Ball spotted about the, looks like the 13-yard line. Tagaloa under center, out of the I formation, and taken down in the backfield is her running back, Nicole Matheson. She was stopped dead in her tracks, had nowhere to go. A good defensive play by the Prowler defensive line, bringing up 3rd down and about 12. This Prowler defense, they may bend, but they don't break, especially with their back against the wall.
Not at all, and that's what you like to see, especially from a young team.
Tagaloa out of the gun. 2 receivers split out to each side. She has Cifuentes with her in the backfield, floats this one up, passes incomplete, intended for Lori Gellis Diaz, and that'll bring up 4th down and 12. Again, Las Cruces does not have a kicker, so they will not be attempting a field goal here. They will be going for it as well. So if you're a female out there and you can kick, head on out here to Buckeye High School and you may be able to find a job with Las Cruces or Phoenix.
Make some noise for your Prowler defense.
Tagaloa getting set. She'll work under center out of the I. Hard count. Got the Prowlers to jump. A late pitch, and that's going nowhere. The Prowler defense stops it at the 21-yard line. It'll be a turnover on downs. And the Phoenix Prowler defense coming up with yet another big play to keep their team in this game.
Yeah, that was a great effort on their part. And now we saw offense starting to get some things rolling. Like we talked about before, they have to keep it moving forwards. They can't be giving up fouls and moving backwards, no penalties. So if offense can play clean, that's going to be the key right here.
We'll see what Danielle Harrison can do here on this possession for the Prowlers. It seems what they're really wanting to do is give it to their tailbacks and let them do their work. Brooklyn Waddles, we've really seen her get a lot of action early on in this ball game. Chelsea Arnwine has been one of the stars offensively for the Prowlers this season. And then don't forget about Jasmine Thomas. Harrison out of the gun. A receiver split out to each side. 2:34 to go in this first quarter of play. 6-0 Las Cruces leading Phoenix. And now it looks like both head coaches needing a little explanation as to what's going on, as they'll talk things over with the referees. And now we're ready to go. Harrison out of the gun. Harrison has time, looks down the seam of the field, and this pass is intercepted. And taken out of bounds inside the 30 was Kelly Washington.
And that's got to be frustrating for the defense, who just worked so hard to get that stop.
Ball will be spotted on the Prowler 28-yard line.
1st and 10 for Las Cruces. Prowler defense back out on the field. Their offense not doing them any favors on that last possession. Tagaloa will work under center for Las Cruces. They'll work out of the I with A receiver split out to each side. Tagaloa pitches it back. Losing the
Fumbled.
ball still loose, and I believe the Prowlers have it.
I believe so too. So there's defense once again, keeping them in the game if that's the case.
Matheson must have taken her eyes off of it. She didn't get the ball. Had
And
to
there
go
you
off of
go.
her fingertips, tried to get it back, and just was out of her reach, and the Prowlers come up with it. So it'll be Prowler ball.
Prowler defense keeping them in the game once again. That's what you really like to see, especially if you are the coach of the Prowlers. That defensive effort so far this entire game has just been so strong. And, you know, especially after you just get that stop, you see the offense have a little error, but it causes you to end up having to go back out on the field and you answer with that play. That is a great way to follow up.
2:11 to go in this first quarter of play. 6-0 Las Cruces leading Phoenix. These two teams have gone back and forth. Some sloppy play here in the first quarter. A lot of turnovers, but credit the defenses for coming to play early on in this contest. We saw the one big play to get things started, and since then it has been a defensive battle.
And that was almost intercepted again.
Yeah, she really tried to fit that in a tight window between two defenders, looking for a wide receiver there, unable to find Shea Hall, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
But you know what I do like is that she still was incredibly aggressive despite the fact that she had just had a pick before. It didn't stop her from going for that. She didn't hold back. She still went for it, and she still almost had that pass completed.
With that interception earlier in this game, Harrison has now thrown 5 on the year. Still looking for her first touchdown pass. Harrison out of the gun. She'll flip it back to her tailback. That's Chelsea Arnwine, and Arnwine dragged out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Under 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. I'll bring up 3rd down and long for the Prowlers. Quick scoring update in the NBA. The Phoenix Suns, just coming out of halftime, currently lead the LA Clippers 52-38. A lot of people in the Valley keeping tabs on that. 3rd down and 10. Moving the ball forward. Up the middle was Jasmine Thomas. She'll pick up a couple, and that'll bring up 4th down. So with the ball at the 35-yard line, 4th down and 6. We'll see if the Prowlers go for this or if they roll Harrison out and have her punt it away. Currently, Las Cruces does not have anybody standing deep. Trips to the far side. Harrison out of the gun. Harrison's going to air it out. She's going deep, looking for a receiver. Incomplete, intended for Jasmine Thomas, but there is a flag on the field, and the Prowlers look to have the ball inside of Las Cruces territory. A heads-up play by Danielle Harrison to throw it up there and let her receiver go for it.
Now this has to give the Prowlers offense some sort of air beneath their wings now. Get them going. They have to be fired up with getting that call to go their way, especially on a 4th down.
Yeah, that's a huge play that'll charge up the fans, and this will put the ball right at the 50-yard line. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Prowlers at midfield. under a minute to go in this first quarter. Harrison out of the gun. Harrison flips it over to Jasmine Thomas, who is taken out of bounds inside of Las Cruces territory at about the 48-yard line.
And you know, that last, not the running play by Jasmine Thomas, but the play before that where they had the flag called, that could potentially be a game-changing play if the Prowlers are able to continue on and keep their offense going and they're able to score. That could really, really change the course of the outcome for the rest of the game.
It's quite a turnaround for the Prowlers after falling to Las Cruces 52-0 last week. Right now, they're looking at a 6-0 deficit after one quarter of play, and they're threatening here as they move the ball into Las Cruces territory. 2nd down and 8, Harrison out of the gun. Receiver split out to each side. Harrison, 2-step drop, tries to drop this one off to her tight end, Trina Wilson. That ball falls incomplete through the fingertips of Wilson, bringing up 3rd down and 8. Clock stopped at 13 seconds. It's always 4-down territory for the Prowlers, but you would like to see them either get the first down here or at least pick up the majority of the yardage on this play. Third and 8. Harrison out of the gun. Harrison gives it to her tailback, going right up the middle is Arnwine. She's got right at the first down, and she's got it.
And she was very aggressive.
Bounced off a few tackles and is taken down at the 39-yard line, and that's how this first quarter will come to a close. A great possession for the Prowlers as they look to keep this moving and try to get in that end zone, trailing 6-0 to Las Cruces early on in this contest. And we have a timeout, so I guess that won't be the final play of the first quarter. We've seen 3 or 4 timeouts already in this first quarter of play.
See if they replay this. Gorgeous block. Also, I wanted to understand.
Prowlers first down on the Las Cruces 39-yard line.
So it'll be 1st down and 10, ball at the 39-yard line. 5 seconds to go in this first quarter of play. Danielle Harrison out of the gun. Trips to the far side of the field. Direct snap to the tailback, who is taken down right away met by one of the defensive linemen. As Chelsea Arnwine on the carry, and that will do it. After 1 quarter of play, Las Cruces leads Phoenix 6-0. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this. You're tuned in to the WNFC TV Game of the Week. We're back for the second quarter here at Olson Stadium on the campus of Buckeye Union High School for the WNFC TV Game of the Week. Derek Diesner, Brittany Boyer back with you as the Phoenix Prowlers looking for their first victory of the season here in the regular season finale. Currently trail Las Cruces 6-0. On second down and 10, quarterback Danielle Harrison will work out of the gun. Trips to the near side. Direct snap yet again to Chelsea Arnwine. Arnwine going to work to the far side of the field. What a stiff arm. Still on her feet. First down and more. Inside the 20. 10, 5. Touchdown. Chelsea Arnwine. Her third score of the season.
You go.
And the first touchdown for the Prowlers since week 1 in Utah. We are all knotted at 6.
And like I said, the momentum shift was in their favor. All they had to do was keep the ball moving forward, and that's exactly what they were able to do. I think the timeout called right before the end of the first quarter was to try to throw off the little bit of momentum that they were building. You know, it seemed like they were starting to get things going, but it didn't work. They were able to open up the second with a beautiful play and score a touchdown, and here we are all tied up at 6.
After being shut out in last week's contest on the road at Las Cruces, the Prowlers offense finds a way to get on the scoreboard and have tied this ball game up. Coming in to attempt the PAT is Uriah Morgan. She is 1 for 2 on PATs this season. This can give the Prowlers the lead, which I believe will be their first lead of the season. Snap good, hold good, kick is up, and it is no good. We remain tied at 6 with 11:50 to go in this first half of play, but a great possession by the Prowlers, and they have tied this ball game up at 6 here at Olson Stadium. We'll take a break and be back right after this on the WNFC TV Game of the Week. $11:50 to go in this first half of play here in Buckeye, Arizona. And the Phoenix Prowlers have tied things up at 6 against Las Cruces. Derek Diesner, Brittany Boyer back with you as the Prowlers will get set to kick this one deep. Uriah Morgan will line it up and get set to kick deep. Standing back to return this kickoff is Nicole Matheson, Regina Escoto, and Wyshana Brooks. This kick will one hop right off of the shin of Regina Escoto. She'll pick it up at the 20, spins, and now gets going. We've got a man down around the 25-yard line for Las Cruces, but Escoto takes us across the 45, just shy of the 50-yard line, and once again, good starting field position for Las Cruces, as both sets of trainers head out to the field to take a look at the Las Cruces player that is down around the 25-yard line. It may just be cramps. It is pretty warm out. The one positive is the sun has set, so now the players will not have to deal with that, and the heat, while still there, won't be as strong. $11:38 to go until halftime. 6-6 our score. $11:38 to go until halftime. The Las Cruces player was able to walk off the field as she is being attended to by the trainers. First down and 10, ball at the 47-yard line. Under center is Tori Tagaloa. Tagaloa gives it off to her back, Nicole Matheson. Matheson, a flag came in the backfield, but Matheson racing down the far sideline. She'll take this to the house. If it stands, that'll be her second long touchdown of the evening, but I have a feeling that's coming back for a hold. Tori Tagaloa had her hands on her hips. She was not pleased, and the referee did signal a hold. Ball is coming back. But Matheson, boy, when she's able to get on the edge.
She is fast.
Yes, she is. She's got another gear.
Going, gone. And as you mentioned before, some of these girls have experience playing soccer, and you can tell when they go to tackle that they have experience playing soccer because they'll go to use their legs a little bit, I've noticed.
Going for the side tackle. So after the penalty, the ball is now spotted at the 37-yard line. The first down and 20 for Las Cruces. Out of the I formation. They'll give it right back to Matheson. Matheson gonna work it on the near side, and she's tripped up and taken down just across the 40-yard line. She's taken down by Brooklyn Waddles. Waddles, the leading tackler for this Prowler defense, and she's really starting to step up her game on the offensive side of things. Second down and 15 for Las Cruces. Referees have had a tough go of it in this contest. They've really had to huddle together quite often to talk things over. They got to get on the same page. I'm going to assume they didn't have a meeting before the game. On 2nd and 15, looked like some miscommunication. Ball gets into the hands of Regina Escoto. She'll work it to the far side and gets close to the original line of scrimmage, taken out of bounds just shy of the 47-yard line. Third down and about 11 for Las Cruces. 6-6 our score, 10-10 to go in this second quarter of play.
Third down. Make some noise for your defense.
On 3rd and 10, they'll give it to the fullback, Sarai Fuentes. She takes it across the 50, but is taken down around the 49-yard line. That'll be about 5 to 6 yards short of the first down marker, and there is a Prowler down right at midfield. She has not moved her left arm yet. And she's pointing to her shoulder. Don't know if it was dislocated, if her collarbone was hit, but she is in some pain. They're going to get her on her feet. And that is Victoria Trevino Hernandez, who is shaken up after that last play. Still kind of working on her left shoulder as she heads over to the sideline. Fourth down and 5. 9:41 to go in this second quarter of play. Clock is running.
Fourth down.
Under center is Tagaloa. Pitches it back. Working the far side, picking up the first down, but another flag comes from the backfield, and this will not be in favor of Las Cruces. Yet again, Nicole Matheson really able to work the edge, but somebody held again for Las Cruces. That O-line is struggling on this possession.
They are.
Against the offense, will bring it back.
Be 4th and long. Ball will be spotted just outside the 42-yard line. First down marker is at the 43-yard line in Phoenix Prowler territory. So Las Cruces will have their work cut out for them on 4th and 15. 9 minutes to go in this first half of play. We are all knotted at 6. Tagaloa, and we've got a penalty on the Prowlers.
Yep, offsides.
Yep, jumping across the line, trying to time the snap count, unable to do so. And now the Prowlers help out Las Cruces, give them some of the yardage right back. Be 4th and 10 now.
Again, those are little things that you can clean up with time, with a little more practice. But I do admire the aggressiveness and their want to try to throw things off for them, you know?
Under center is Tagaloa. Tagaloa has time, throws it up, has a wide open receiver, and the ball is caught inside the 30. Getting loose was Rhiannon Harden, and that is just her second reception of the season, but a big one at that. A first down for Las Cruces, 1st and 10 at the 29. Tagaloa just threw it up there and hoped for the best, and it turned out well for the opposition. 8:30 to go in this first half of play, and Las Cruces is threatening. Ball inside the 30 and a fresh set of downs. Tagaloa under center out of the eye. She'll give it off to Matheson. Matheson runs right into a pile of Prowlers who take her down just shy of the 25.
Looks like a gain of about 2 on that play. I think the Prowlers will take that.
That they will. 2nd down and 8. Ball at the 27-yard line. 7:45 to go until halftime. And now, if you're Las Cruces, you really just want to sit on this ball and wear this clock down, not give the Prowler offense much time to work with it before halftime. Under center is Tagaloa. Tagaloa gives it to one of the tailbacks, and taken down is Regina Escoto. She may have just been taken down for no loss. Didn't look like there was a lot of movement there, but you have to worry. Tagaloa is really swinging that ball all around, trying to throw the defense off, but that last play, she's lucky she didn't bump into one of her linemen. That ball would have went flying. A late substitution for the Prowlers. They got to move quickly. Las Cruces just gets set. Under center is Tagaloa. Tagaloa gives it off to Matheson. Matheson charges ahead, and she is taken down just shy of that first down marker. Boy, that's got to be less than a yard, so it'll bring up 4th and inches.
This is going to be critical for them to get this stop right here.
You would assume they'd go right back to Matheson, but we'll see. Cifuentes seems to be their short yardage back. And Cifuentes is lined up as the fullback here with Matheson right behind her out of the eye. Tagaloa under center, and we've got a whistle as a timeout is called by the Prowlers.
And I think this is a good time to use their final timeout.
Yeah, I'm confused right now as the scoreboard shows they still have 1 timeout left. I don't know how these teams have so many timeouts. There have been a ton used already.
I believe this is the Prowlers' 3rd and final timeout, and I believe Las Cruces has 1 more as well.
.5:55 to go until the half. We'll take a break. All knotted at 6 here on WNFC TV Game of the Week. .5:55 to go until halftime. 6-6 is our score. the Prowlers and Las Cruces all nodded, but Las Cruces with a big 4th down here, 4th and 1. Can the Prowler defense come up big yet again? Under center is Tagaloa. She has trips to the far side, 1 receiver to the near side. Tagaloa gives it off to her fullback, charging forward and taken backwards by a pair of Prowler defenders.
What a stop.
Las Cruces is trying to save forward progress. It looks like they may give it to her in a 1st down, but the Prowlers want to stop. They will give her the 1st down, and forward progress is given to Las Cruces.
I don't think she had it personally.
First down and 10. Ball will be spotted just inside of the red zone for Las Cruces. Under 6 minutes to play in this first half. Same formation, trips up top, 1 to the near side. Sarai Cifuentes in the backfield behind Tagaloa. Tagaloa under center, quick pass to the far side. It's complete over to Matheson.
Pass is complete to Matheson.
5:40 to go until halftime. Lost play, ball spotted at the 21-yard line.
Loss of 1 on the play. 2nd down.
2nd and 11 for Las Cruces. A receiver split out to each side. Charging forward is Matheson, and Matheson taken down around the 15-yard line. That'll get the clock moving and bring up 3rd and about 6. It's 4-down territory for Las Cruces.
Now you want to really make sure you don't have any questions when it gets to 4th down this time.
Matheson cuts back inside. She has no running room. Stop for a loss of 1. That'll bring up 4th down and 7, under 5 minutes to play in this first half. And Las Cruces needs a big chunk of yardage here.
And like I said, you really want to make sure you stop them and leave no question at all for them to give them the 1st down. So that was a huge stop on the 3rd down for them to have them lose a yard, setting them up for a 4th and about 7 here. So every single inch matters when you're trying to make that defensive stop.
Well, Las Cruces uses their timeout, and now I believe all teams are out of timeouts. So we'll take a break with them. 4:27 to go until halftime. 6-6 is our score. We'll be back right after this. You're tuned in to the WNFC TV Game of the Week. Fourth down and 7. 4:27 to go in this first half of play. Tori Tagaloa under center. Tagaloa gives it off to her tailback, working it to the near side, take it down just shy of the 10-yard line was Regina Escoto, and that's going to be short of the first down. The Prowler defense comes up with yet another key stop, and now the Prowler offense will take to the field with their backs to the wall and 4:17 left in this first half of play. But what a fantastic stop, and it's been all defense for the Prowlers here in this first half.
Defense has definitely stepped it up and kept them in this game. I really don't think Las Cruces was expecting to see this out of this Prowler team. The Prowler team, like I said earlier, definitely seems to have benefited from seeing them last week. And I'm also really excited as this first half is starting to wind down to see what adjustments are made by both teams at the half coming back out. But before we get there, we still have 4 minutes and 17 seconds left of very exciting play, I'm sure. And I'm really excited to see offensively if the Prowlers can move the ball down the field in the remaining time without giving it back to Las Cruces.
It's been impressive to see how the Prowlers have responded after their performance last week in Las Cruces, and now they've had the momentum going in their direction these last few offensive possessions. We'll see what they're able to draw up here. Harrison brings it out to the far side. That ball's incomplete. Pass intended for Brooklyn Waddles. I was just behind Waddles, bringing up second down and 10. 4:12 to go in this second quarter of play. 6-6 our score. On second down and 10. Harrison will work out of the gun, trips to the near side. She's flanked by her tailback, Jasmine Thomas. The give is to Thomas. Check that. That's Arnwine, who pushes forward. She'll be just shy of the 20-yard line, but picks up some offensive yardage.
Looks like it's about 5 yards.
Had a player shaken up, and now they're going to call for the trainer as somebody is shaken up for Las Cruces. They'll at least get a substitution as the player's able to walk off the field. Looks like that is number 40, Priscilla Scarborough. Third down and 6 for the Prowlers. Clock is running, 3.5 minutes to play in this first half. Same formation, trips to the near side for the Prowlers. Arnwine moving around behind quarterback Danielle Harrison. She gets set now. Harrison calls for the ball. Flush from the pocket. She's got nowhere to go with it and is sacked at the 15 for a loss on the play, bringing up 4th and about 7.
She did a good job of shaking off 2 defenders a little further back, though. Just wasn't able to escape all of them.
Clock is moving, and they will punt this ball away. So Uriah Morgan's going to come in to replace quarterback Danielle Harrison, and they will punt this away. We've got a ball game, and right now you cannot afford to go for it this deep in your opponent's territory.
Especially when defense has been getting it done for you on the field. Coach Ramirez has to feel more comfortable putting the ball back in Las Cruces' hands and giving his defense the opportunity to get the stop.
And this is going to be an easy 6 for Las Cruces. As you could tell, that Phoenix has not practiced their punt coverage, and there wasn't a Prowler in sight on the far side of the field, and walking it in for an easy 6 was Linnell Scarborough, and it's 12-6. Las Cruces leads, and they will go for 2 points here to try and extend their lead with 2:17 to go before the half. A fantastic punt. You can't say enough about the punt on a last-second notice by Uriah Morgan. Fielding it off of a hop was Linnell Scarborough, and she was able to take it to the house, working it to the far side of the field.
Again, it's little things you can work on. Special teams, like we talked about, without having a punter, without having a kicker. You said it. It's not something they see a lot. It's things like that that will improve with time. Honestly, two of their biggest issues today that have led to their 2 touchdowns both came on special teams plays.
Prowlers have 2 players late onto the field. They just get onto the field in time. We'll see if they're able to get set. They are not. Play goes, and walking it in on the far side of the field is their tailback, who's been busy today, Nicole Matheson. And it is now 14-6. Las Cruces leads Phoenix with 2:10 to go until halftime. And Brittany, Phoenix really has played hard and looked great here in this first half of play, but that is not how the Prowlers wanted to end this first half. Their offense needs to get something on the board and answer back here in a little over 2 minutes.
They do. Offense is looking like they're starting to get more comfortable generating some stuff out there. It'll be interesting to see what they talk about during halftime when they come back out as well, and what adjustments they make, especially because I know I've mentioned this, but seeing them last week has to make a huge difference in terms of what it's like to be out there against them again this week. It's still fresh in your head. Like I said, you still are familiar with them a little bit more. And their only 2 touchdowns that they've given up to them have been special teams plays. And I think that that's huge. It says a lot about the defense and about how disciplined I think that they've been playing and how much effort they put in. And now it's just time for offense to kind of find a little bit more of a rhythm and get a little bit more set and comfortable here.
Getting set to kick it deep is Bridget Ortega for Las Cruces. Ball's teed up at the 35-yard line. Ortega gets the thumbs up, and here we go. Short kick, a 1-hop to the second line. Across the 50, still on her feet, and taken down at the 45-yard line in Las Cruces territory is Shariah Hall. So the Prowlers have a chance here to put some points on the board and answer back.
On the Las Cruces 46-yard line, with 2:02 remaining in the second quarter.
14-6 our score. First down and 10, ball at the 46-yard line in Las Cruces territory. Prowlers in search of their first win of the season here in the regular season finale. Harrison as a receiver split out to each side. 2 backs in the backfield. Out of the gun. Harrison gives it off to Arnwine. Arnwine trying to work it to the far side of the field, trying to cut it up. She finally does and gets just inside. Did she get a couple of yards, or was she stopped right at the line of scrimmage?
She got a couple yards. It looks like she got about 3 yards on that. She's just inside the 45. It looks like they're going to place her at about the 43.
Now the referees are going to get together and talk about it. I was going to say, the referees didn't seem like they were on the same page there as they were looking around trying to figure out where should this ball go. And now they'll come to the near sideline to talk things over. So I need to reset the game clock to 1:55. So more time on the clock for the Prowlers.
Second down and 7.
2nd and 7. Out of the gun. Flag flies. Arnwine with the ball. Gets it inside the 40, taken out of bounds, and another flag on the play. So we'll see who these penalties are on. It looks like both are going against Las Cruces, but we'll wait for the official call.
You were up by 16 not that long ago. Now you're up by 1. It's like fucking games. Okay. I fucking hate you.
A false start is called, and then a personal foul, so they are going to offset. The personal foul was on Las Cruces. False start against Phoenix. So we'll cancel that out. Ball will be spotted at the 43-yard line. And it'll be 2nd down and 7 with a $1:48 to go until halftime. 14-6. Las Cruces leading Phoenix. Harrison out of the gun. Arnwine in the backfield. Harrison airs it out there. She's got a receiver, and it is dropped, underthrown to Jasmine Thomas. Thomas was able to come back to the ball, but in and out of her hands. And it falls incomplete, bringing up 3rd and 7 with 100 seconds left in this first half. A tough break for the Prowlers. Ball at the 43. Trips to the near side. On the gun is Danielle Harrison. Harrison throws it up. Just did not have time as the edge rusher got around the corner and right in Harrison's face. She had to throw it up. Luckily, she overthrew the receiver and it hit the turf. But that'll bring up 4th down and 7 with 1:35 to go in this fourth quarter of play. A big play upcoming for the Prowler offense.
He looks like the inflatable thing outside car dealerships.
Prowlers break the huddle. Ball at the 43-yard line. Harrison out of the gun. Harrison pitches it over to Arnwine. Arnwine met in the backfield and drawn back. Ripped down at the 45-yard line. And a big stop for the Las Cruces defense as they will get the ball with prime territory, in prime territory, with 1:27 to go in this first half of play. They will spot the ball right at the 48-yard line. It whistled the play dead before it got past the 50. Las Cruces has 52 yards to go to try to get a touchdown in 1:27. On 1st down and 10. Big play upcoming by Las Cruces. Tori Tugaloa out of the gun. A receiver split out to each side. Tugaloa, low snap, handles, looks for a receiver, but she one-hops it. No, they call it complete. 1st down for Las Cruces. From up here, it looked like that ball hit the turf and bounced into the receiver's hands. Fresh set of downs for Las Cruces. Ball will be spotted at the 41-yard line. 53 seconds to go, and the clock is running. Again, no timeouts for Las Cruces. Out of the gun is Tugaloa. Tugaloa Slings it downfield, pass incomplete. That was intended for Rhiannon Harden. Seconds to go before halftime. 2nd down and 10 for Las Cruces. Well, this Prowler defense has been tested all evening. They've had stop after stop after stop. They need another big one here to keep it a one-score game at the half. Tugaloa out of the gun. Low snap. Tugaloa lobs it up. Got a receiver just outside. Incomplete for Lori Gellis Diaz, just out of her reach. Apologize. We are currently having some technical difficulties, but we will get that fixed by the second half. There are 23 seconds to go in this first half of play. 14-6 our score. Las Cruces leading Phoenix. 3rd down and 10 for Las Cruces. Tugaloa out of the gun. Tugaloa dropping way back. Slings it. And this pass is intercepted. Pass was caught by Brooklyn Waddles, and another big stop for the Prowlers. And Waddles has been the MVP of the Prowlers in this first half, both offensively and defensively. And the Prowlers come up with yet another big stop with 15 seconds to go before the half.
That is exactly what you want to see from this defense. Like I said, no quit in them. They are all fight.
Unlike the Suns' defense right now.
First down and 10. We'll see if the Prowlers try to actually run a play or just take a knee. Harrison looks like she'll work out of the gun. A receiver split out to each side. Harrison drops back, slings it off to a tailback off of the fingertips of Arnwine. You could tell she was already thinking about where she was going to go with that ball. And it falls incomplete, stopping the clock at 10 seconds. 2nd down and 10.
Prowlers have it 2nd and 10. Ball is on the 38-yard.
Harrison out of the gun. Trips to the near side. Harrison lobs it up down the middle of the field. And making the play is Jasmine Thomas to deflect it away. It looked like it was going to be an easy interception by Linnell Scarborough. But coming out of nowhere was Jasmine Thomas to knock that ball away and give the Prowlers second life, as it'll be 3rd down and 10 with 4 seconds to go until halftime. 14-6 our score. Las Cruces leading Phoenix here in this first half. The Prowlers will have one final play before halftime. We'll see what tricks they have up their sleeve. Head coach Joe Ramirez gets the play into his quarterback, Danielle Harrison. Harrison breaks the huddle. She'll work out of the gun. And now we have a stoppage as the referees will talk things over. They need to get on the same page yet again.
They are all over the place tonight.
I can't ever recall seeing so many stoppage in plays in just one half. Between the timeouts both teams have used and the amount of times the refs have had to talk things over. They'll sling it out. And this pass is incomplete, and that will do it. At the half, Las Cruces leads Phoenix by a score of 14-6. We'll take a break and be back with the second half. You're tuned in to the WNFC TV Game of the Week between the Phoenix Prowlers and La Muerte de las Cruces. 14-6. Las Cruces leads Phoenix at the half. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Olson Stadium on the campus of Buckeye Union High School as we are set to begin the second half here in the WNFC TV Game of the Week between La Muerte de las Cruces and your Phoenix Prowlers. Prowlers trailing Las Cruces by a score of 14-6, but we will begin this second half with Las Cruces kicking off to the Phoenix Prowlers, and the Prowlers had a fantastic finish to that first half of play, and they'll look to capitalize on that here in this second half.
Oh, that's totally off that.
Kicking it away will be Bridget Ortega. Ortega boots it deep. It'll roll inside the 30. Finally, a Prowler picks it up and is off to the races, taken down at about the 37-yard line is number 28, Jacqueline Moya. First and 10 for the Prowlers. 7 seconds into this second half. And an impressive showing so far for the Prowlers, who were shut out last week on the road at Las Cruces by a final of 52-0. Prowlers already on the board tonight and trail by 1 score.
Now, I'm looking forward to seeing, what adjustments they made at the half. I'm looking forward to seeing how they're able to move the ball down the field and if they're able to adjust some things and move the ball down the field any better, possibly building off of that momentum that they had gained in the first half. You know, things started going the way of Las Cruces towards the end there, but then we had that 20-minute intermission, so it's a great chance to reset, come back out here, and take over.
Danielle Harrison will work out of the gun. Her tailbacks were heavily involved in that first half of play, and we'll see if she continues to rely on them here in this second half. Handoff to Chelsea Arnwine. Arnwine works it to the near side of the field, ripped down at about the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up second down and 10. And we have a player shaken up after that last play. It looks like it's a Prowler, Chelsea Arnwine, holding her knee. I don't know if she just is cramping up or if it went the wrong way, but one of the coaches is not happy on the sideline after seeing that collision. Arnwine puts her helmet on, gets up herself, and will return to the huddle. So a big sigh of relief for the Prowlers. They are telling her, though, that she will need to come off the field for one play, and then she'll be able to check back in. But good news for the Prowlers, as Chelsea Arnwine will be able to return to this ball game. Head coach Joe Ramirez giving her an earful after that last run.
What? No, there was no one even close. How'd they call a foul?
Second down and 10. Out of the gun. Harrison, some confusion. She'll give it off to Jasmine Thomas, and Thomas loses 2 on the play, bringing up third down and long. 11 minutes left in this third quarter. 14-6. Prowlers trail Las Cruces. Ball spotted just on the other side of the 35-yard line. And the Prowlers taking their time breaking the huddle. I don't know what the holdup is. Las Cruces is ready, just waiting on the Prowlers. And here we go. Trips to the near side. Harrison will be flanked by her tailback. She'll look to the near side and overshoots Jasmine Thomas off of her fingertips. Just a bit too high for the tailback, and that'll bring up fourth down and 11 and stop the clock at 10:03 to go in this third quarter of play. This is the closest ball game that the Prowlers have played all season, and this is great to see in this regular season finale, something to build off of for next season. A high end-over-end punt. It'll be picked up around the 35-yard line. Reversing field now. Coming to the near side is Scarborough. Scarborough picks up a few blocks, still on her feet, and now dragged down at the 35-yard line. And that's where Las Cruces will start with it here in this second half of play. 9:45 to go in the third quarter. 14-6 our score. Las Cruces leads Phoenix. And the Las Cruces offense returns to the field, led by quarterback Tori Tagaloa. Tagaloa under center. She'll flip it back to her tailback, Regina Escoto. Escoto going to cut it back upfield, come to the near side of the field, sheds a tackler, still on her feet, across the 50, makes a cut, stays in bounds, and is taken down around the 43-yard line, and the Prowlers are in Las Cruces territory. Check that, I meant Las Cruces is in Prowler territory. 9:30 to go in this third quarter of play. 1st and 10 for Las Cruces following the run by Regina Escoto. Tagaloa under center. Bunch formation. They'll give it to the fullback, pushing ahead. And taken down around the 37-yard line is Sarai Cifuentes. Second down and 4. Tagaloa under center. Man in motion. They'll give it to the fullback, and Cifuentes pushes forward, picks up another yard. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 2. Las Cruces will make a quick substitution. 8 minutes left in this third quarter. Las Cruces leading Phoenix 14-6.
3rd down. Let's make some noise for your Phoenix Prowler defense.
On 3rd down and 2, Tagaloa under center. Tagaloa pitches back. Going forward, picking up the 1st down and more. Inside the 30, still on her feet, taken down inside the 25-yard line is Nicole Matheson.
One more.
First down, Las Cruces. Ball is on the Prowler 29.
1st down and 10, under 7.5 minutes to go in this third quarter of play. Tagaloa under center. Flips it back. Gives it off to her tailback, Regina Escoto. Escoto waits for her blockers. Now cuts inside. Still on her feet and taken down a yard or 2 shy of that 1st down marker. A well played out drive for Las Cruces. They are just moving the ball at will on this Prowler defense, who has to be tired right now. And in the process, taking a lot of time off of the clock. They have kept the clock moving. 6.5 minutes remain in this third quarter of play. Las Cruces leads by 8, and they're knocking on the footsteps as they are inside the red zone. Ball spotted just outside the 15-yard line. Second down and short for Las Cruces. Again, they'll give it to the fullback. That's Cifuentes, who pushes forward, and she is met right away. We'll see where they officially spot her. Are they going to measure it, or are they giving her the first down? We have a Prowler down and in some pain, as the officials will use a timeout. They do move the chains, and it is a first down for Las Cruces. With that, we'll take a break. 6:03 left in this third quarter. Las Cruces leads Phoenix 14-6, and they are threatening. We'll be back right after this on WNFC TV's Game of the Week.
I'm like, please don't, unless we actually like win the finals. Then you can do it. Then I will watch and video.
6:03 to go in this third quarter of play here at Olson Stadium on the campus of Buckeye Union High School. Las Cruces leading the Phoenix Prowlers 14-6, and they are threatening inside the red zone. 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 14-yard line. The give is to the tailback, Regina Escoto. Escoto works it to the far side of the field. She's taken down inside the 10. That'll bring up second down and short inside the 10. Looks like they'll spot her at about the 8 or 9 yard line. 5.5 minutes remain in this third quarter of play. On second down and 4, Tagaloa under center. A receiver split out to each side. Man in motion. They'll give it on the reverse, coming to the near side. Stood up at about the 8-yard line was Nicole Matheson. And a good job by the Prowler defense. That'll bring up third and short for Las Cruces. Under 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. On third and short, Tagaloa gives it to her fullback, pushing forward. She tries to push 2 Prowlers. She is denied just inside the 5, but a nice run by Sarai Cifuentes will bring up a 4th and short, and decision time now for Las Cruces.
And once again, a really, really strong effort by the Prowler defense, getting that huge stop. Now they just have to make one more.
Scoreboard shows it's 4th and 1, and you have to assume that they're going to give this ball to Sarai Cifuentes. The Prowlers have had a tough time stopping the big fullback, and right now you got to give it to your big back and hope that the line can push the Prowler defensive line backwards. Under center is Tagaloa. They'll give it to Cifuentes, pushing forward. Did they break the plane? No sign yet. And they'll mark her down just shy of the goal line, but that'll give a first and goal situation to Las Cruces. Back judge signaled a first down, but signaled it in the wrong direction. We caught his drift, though.
Yeah.
First and goal at the 1 for Las Cruces. And now a whistle blows. Timeout is being called by the Prowlers, their first of the half. 2:44 to go in this third quarter of play. 14-6 our score. Las Cruces leads, and they are right on the goal line trying to score yet again. You are tuned in to the WNFC TV Game of the Week. First down and goal. Ball inside the 1. 2:44 to go in this third quarter of play. 14-6 our score. And Las Cruces sneaking in with the quarterback sneak is Tori Tagaloa for the score. And Las Cruces extends their lead to 14 at 20-6. That is the 4th rushing touchdown this season for Tagaloa. And with 2:38, Las Cruces will go for 2. And they will look to extend their lead. Looks like they'll send out trips to the far side, one to the near side. Tagaloa will have Cifuentes with her in the backfield. Under center is Tagaloa. Tagaloa pump faked on the pass and then overshot both receivers as it hits the turf. Incomplete. 20-6 our score. Las Cruces leads Phoenix with 2:34 to go in this third quarter of play. The Prowlers trail by just 2 scores, but they will need to get some points on this possession. A lot of time has been used up on the offensive possessions by Las Cruces here in this third quarter of play. They have been very methodical. They've moved the ball, run the ball, and the Prowler defense was strong in that first half, but you could tell that they just need a rest. And remember, this Prowler team plays 2 ways. These players are not just offensive or just defensive players. The majority of them play both offense and defense, so they are not really getting a rest. And it has been a tough go of it tonight for the Prowlers, but a big offensive possession upcoming for Phoenix if they want to keep this a ball game. To this point, it has been the closest contest that they have been in all season.
And that has to be giving them some motivation here as they're getting towards the end of the third quarter to keep fighting, keep pushing forward. And, you know, we've seen it from the defense. Like we said earlier, they have been all fight, no quit, and I'm expecting to see that from them through the remainder of the game. I'm just looking forward to seeing what the offense continues to do when they go out there and what they're able to put together.
Again, this is week 7 of the regular season finale for both of these teams as Las Cruces just missed out on qualifying for the postseason this year. So both teams down to their final quarter and 2 minutes of the regular season. You know they want to keep this season going, so I'm sure we are in for an entertaining fourth quarter. But first things first, first down and 10 for the Prowlers with 2:22 left in this third quarter of play as Danielle Harrison will lead the offense back out on the field. They'll set up shop at about the 44-yard line. So a short field for the Prowlers. We'll see if they're able to capitalize. Harrison will have a receiver split out to each side. Couple of backs along with her in the backfield. On first and 10 out of the gun. Harrison gives it to Arnwine. Arnwine going to go right up the gut. She's got the first down and more. 40, 35, inside the 30, and dragged down around the 27-yard line. A great carry by the offensive leader of this Prowler team, Chelsea Arnwine.
Got a shaken up player from Las Cruces down on the field around the 47-yard line.
We've seen a few injuries tonight. It seems that whenever either of these teams get something going and momentum seems to be on one side, somebody goes down. And we see the Prowlers players all taking a knee for the Las Cruces player that's down around the 47-yard line. 2:08 to go in this third quarter of play. 20-6, Las Cruces leads Phoenix. But the Prowlers just got a big offensive play by Chelsea Arnwine, and they'll look to capitalize. We'll be back right after this on the WNFC TV Game of the Week.
That was like
First down and 10. Clock is moving inside. 2 minutes to go in this third quarter of play. Danielle Harrison to work out of the gun. Flag flies. This will be going against the Prowlers. A couple of flags. On the ball carry is Chelsea Arnwine yet again. She's taken out of bounds around the 20. Unfortunately, this play will be coming back and going against the Prowler offense. But a nice looking play. And Chelsea Arnwine really getting this offense going here in the latter stages of this ball game. They are going to need her if they have any chance in this contest.
Penalties against the offense.
I'll talk things over, the refs will, with the Las Cruces head coach, and now they'll walk it back, and it looks like Phoenix will have the ball at the 33-yard line. 1:39 to go in this third quarter of play. Phoenix trailing Las Cruces 20-6.
Loss of 5 on the play. Repeat first down.
On first and 15, Harrison out of the gun. A receiver split out to each side. Harrison will pitch it off to Arnwine. Arnwine cuts it back inside and taken down just shy of the 25-yard line, bringing up second down and about 8. And a timeout called by the officials as a player comes limping towards the Las Cruces sideline. Looks like she'll be able to get off of the field and we'll be able to continue play. 2nd down and 8. Under a minute to play in this third quarter. Phoenix trails by a pair of touchdowns. Out of the gun, Danielle Harrison. Harrison gives it off right to Arnwine. Arnwine cuts it back in, and she keeps her feet moving, but she is eventually taken down around the 22-yard line. She never gave up, kept the feet chugging, and picks up a few extra yards, and now she'll call for a breather.
And that is a strong push from a running back that plays on both sides of the ball for a majority of the game to pick up that many yards. That was very impressive.
Phoenix is content to let the clock run out, and they will. After 3 quarters of play, Las Cruces leads Phoenix by a score of 20-6. We'll be back with the 4th and final quarter right after this. You're tuned in to the WNFC TV Game of the Week. It's time for the 4th and final quarter here at Olson Stadium on the campus of Buckeye Union High School. Derek Diesner, Brittany Boyer back with you as Las Cruces leads the Phoenix Prowlers by a score of 20-6 here in the WNFC TV Game of the Week. The Prowlers are threatening, and they're looking to keep this a game as they have the ball inside the 25. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Ball spotted about the 22-23 yard line. Danielle Harrison shouting out the signals to her team. Harrison will give it to her tailback. That's Brooklyn Waddles. We haven't seen her in a while. She fumbles it, and Las Cruces picks it up, and they've got it. A costly mistake. Brooklyn Waddles was the star of this Phoenix Prowler team in that first half. She gets the ball there, fumbles it, and now is hurt and down on the turf around the 23-yard line. A costly mistake, and that is going to hurt the Prowlers not only in trying to get back into this game, but now you worry for Brooklyn Waddles' health as she is a key cog to this team both offensively and defensively, and the trainers will attend to her just 9 seconds into this 4th quarter of play. Waddles, the team leader defensively with 10.5 tackles out of the linebacker spot. She's ran the ball a few times here this evening. Coming into tonight's action, she's even had a reception on the season. She ripped her helmet off, and it looks like they're going to have to help her off of the field as she is walking pretty gingerly. She is bent over in pain currently. And now Waddles is going back down. They're going to need to call the cart for her. The cart's finally getting out there, but by this point, Waddles is just about to the sideline. Looks like she took a shot to the side because she is in some pain, and they'll take her back to the locker room. 11:51 to go in this ball game. Las Cruces leading Phoenix here in the regular season finale, 20-6. Both teams will see their seasons come to a close after this contest here this evening.
Well, let's send our good thoughts for Waddles as she is getting carted off the field now. She is in a lot of pain, as you might be able to see.
First down and 10 for Las Cruces. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line. Give it to the tailback. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like they'll give her a yard. That'll get the clock moving, I should say, and that was something that we saw Las Cruces do very well in that third quarter. Run the ball and just keep that clock moving, and really that's what they want to do here. Just wear that clock out and get out of town with a victory. They lead it by 2 touchdowns at this point. They'd like to add some insurance, but this Prowler defense has been stingy this evening. Second down and 9. Tagaloa to work under center. 2 receivers split out to the near side, 1 up top. They'll flip it back to one of the tailbacks. That's Escoto. Escoto going to work it to the near side, and she is taken down just shy of the 40. But again, she stays inbounds, keeps that clock moving, got really close to the first down marker, and that brings up a 3rd and manageable with 3rd and 2. It's been 4-down territory all night for Las Cruces, who does not have a punter on their team.
And Las Cruces does seem to have the advantage here in this 3rd down situation, with Arizona missing Waddles out there defensively.
On 3rd and 2. They'll give it to the fullback, Cifuentes.
And she
misses it by a yard. Gets the ball across the 40. They'll need to get it to the 41. We'll see if they go right back to Cifuentes on this 4th and inches. Cifuentes can move a pile. We've seen her do it a few times today. They may also just let Tagaloa run with it, and Cifuentes will give the extra push from behind. On 4th and inches, Tagaloa under center. Tagaloa gives it right back to Cifuentes, and they've pushed the pile. That'll be a 1st down and more. Ball will be spotted at the 46-yard line. 1st down and 10 for Las Cruces, with about 9 minutes remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And a late penalty flag comes in. Might have been some extracurriculars in that end of the bottom of the pile. This will go against the Prowlers. Tack on some extra yards for Las Cruces. And this has been something we've seen this season out of this Prowler team. Again, this is a young, new team. They need to learn to play the game and control their emotions, and that's one thing they have not been able to do. That's one of those learning experiences in year 1 that we hope to see them improve on going into next season. 1st down and 10 for Las Cruces. Ball spotted. It should be moved up after the penalty, and maybe that's what the line judge is coming to tell the referee. Even the quarterback, Tori Tagaloa, is kind of confused. If you call a penalty, don't you have to move the ball? And now the umpire is going to pick it up and move it. This will be brought into Phoenix Prowler territory, and the ball will be spotted just inside the 40 near the 39-yard line. It's a learning experience for all in year one.
Indeed it is.
They can intern this fall at high school football games and learn some more.
Right? They got to make sure they work with the right AIA refs, though.
On 1st and 10. A trick play. Running with it is Escoto, still on her feet and finally dragged down around the 33-yard line. Misdirection threw off the Prowler defense, and Las Cruces picks up a big chunk of yardage. That'll bring up 2nd down and about 5. Ball spotted at the 34-yard line. Clock is running as we approach the 8-minute mark. Tagaloa hands it off. Around the edges, Matheson. Matheson just dump trucks one Prowler, goes at another, and is pushed out of bounds around the 25. When Matheson gets to the edge, look out. She's been a handful for this Prowler defense. They'll spot it at the 26. It'll be 1st and 10 for Las Cruces, with Las Cruces leading by 14. Less than 7.5 minutes to go. Handoff. Coming to the near side is Escoto, and she is tripped up around the 23, 24-yard line, and we have a Prowler hurt. We'll take a break with them as they attend to the Prowler player. 6:53 to go in this ball game. 20-6 our score. Las Cruces leading Phoenix. We'll be back right after this. You're tuned in to the WNFC TV Game of the Week. We're back here at Olson Stadium on the campus of Buckeye Union High School. Derek Diesner back with you. Las Cruces leading the Phoenix Prowlers by a score of 20-6, and we are still in an injury timeout as they attend to a Prowlers player. We will come back on the air when we are able to resume action, but that is where we are at currently. And we hope that everything is all right with the Phoenix Prowler player that is down. Again, 6:53 to go in this fourth quarter of play. Las Cruces leading Phoenix 20-6. Stay tuned. You're tuned into the WNFC TV Game of the Week.
Thank you for listening.
So as you can see, as we come back to you from Molson Stadium on the campus of Buckeye Union High School, we have about 6 minutes and 53 seconds left in this contest. Las Cruces leading Phoenix by a score of 20-6. We had a break in the action as Shea Hall had been involved in a play where she took a bad hit and was down on the field. As you could see, there was an ambulance on the track here. They were able to secure her to a bodyboard and safely remove her from the field. Our thoughts and prayers are with Shea and her family. She is actually celebrating her 23rd birthday today. She gave a big thumbs up as she was taken into the ambulance, so we hope all is well. We also received word during the break that they are going to try and complete this ball game. Both teams are trying to loosen up. It's been about 15-20 minutes since we last had live action here on the field. We hope to get back to play here shortly, or at least have a decision as to what to do with the rest of this contest. Again, 6:53 remaining in the game. Las Cruces leading Phoenix by a score of 20-6. This is the regular season finale for both of these teams. Both Phoenix and Las Cruces have failed to make it to this year's playoffs, so both teams will see their seasons come to a close after this contest here this evening. The refs are still talking things over. I don't know if it is still an option to just end this game or if they are going to try and finish it, and they're dead set on finishing it. The ambulance is still on the track as they attend to Shea Hall. Well, we want to thank the first responders here in Buckeye, both the fire department, able to get out here quickly and attend to Shea Hall.
If I was having a massive heart attack, I would have died before they got here.
Fans have remained throughout. They're still here inside the stadium, waiting to see the conclusion of this contest. All of the fans stood on their feet and cheered on as Shea Hall gave the thumbs up on her way into the ambulance. Prowlers gather to have a quick team meeting, get their heads right before we resume play. Las Cruces doing the same on the far side of the field. Referees huddling in the middle of the field, talking things over, and now the ambulance will start to escort Shea to the nearest hospital. And the refs will blow their whistles and call the teams back out onto the field. 6:53 to go. It'll be 2nd down and 8. We are in the 4th quarter. Las Cruces leading Phoenix by a score of 20-6, and Las Cruces is threatening. They have had the ball for the last few minutes, and prior to that injury break in the action, Las Cruces had been moving the ball very well on this Prowler defense, and they have taken up a lot of the clock here in the 4th quarter, and we'll see what they're able to do here. Las Cruces offense on the field. Prowler defense is getting set, and we are ready to resume action. 2nd down and 8. Ball will be spotted at the 24-yard line on 2nd and 8. Tori Tagaloa under center. Tagaloa is going to keep it, run to the middle of the field, make a cut back in, spin move, still on her feet inside the 10-5. She'll walk it in for 6, and Las Cruces has extended their lead to 20. They now lead 26-6. against the Phoenix Prowlers with 6:34 to go in this ball game. And again, there's not a kicker on the Las Cruces roster, so they will line up to go for two and make this a 22-point lead. Under center is Tagaloa. Tagaloa gives it off to the fullback. They'll try and push her in, and they do. It's good, 4-2. Running it across the goal line was Sarai Cifuentes, and it's 28-6 with 6:27 left in this ball game. The Prowlers hung close in the first half. Here in the second half, it has been all Las Cruces as they look to close the season with a victory. Phoenix, come.
We have another injury on the field.
Official timeout for injury.
We have a Las Cruces player down in the end zone that they are attending to currently with 6:27 left in this game. We'll be back right after this. You're tuned in to the WNFC TV Game of the Week.
Deep to receive for
6:27 to go. Las Cruces leading Phoenix 28-6. Derek Diesner, Brittany Boyer back with you here at Olson Stadium on the campus of Buckeye Union High School. Las Cruces getting set to kick it away to the Prowlers. Standing deep to return is Jasmine Thomas. So one hop and be picked up around the 37-yard line and taking it into Las Cruces territory. The Prowlers and Phoenix, good starting field position with 6:20 left in this game.
on the Las Cruces 45-yard line.
First down and 10, ball spotted at the 45. Harrison out of the gun, receiver split out to each side. She'll give it to her tailback, Arnwine. Arnwine trying to work the edge, and she's taken down after picking up a couple. Stays in bounds, and that'll keep the clock moving.
Tackle by Cifuentes. Second down.
This game looks to be in hand for Las Cruces, and the way it's gone so far, both of these teams just looking to see that clock run out and no more injuries. It has been a tough go of it, and this summer heat here in Arizona doesn't make it any easier. A lot of cramping by these players here this evening. On second down and 8. Harrison out of the gun. Harrison will sling this to the near side. Pass is caught inside the 30 to one of the captains, Trina Wilson. That was the biggest pass play on the evening by Harrison to Trina Wilson.
That looked to me to be the most aggressive on her pass she's been. And it worked out in her favor.
Clock approaching 5 minutes remaining in this game. First down and 10. Ball at the 29-yard line. 28, excuse me. Harrison out of the gun. Looked like Prowler jumped. No flag. Pass thrown out there and incomplete. And we have a late flag come in the backfield. Looks like an ineligible man downfield going against the Prowlers. This will be called on the offensive lineman, number 73.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
Might be Leah Jones.
Assessed against the offense.
Saw a lot of penalties early in this game. Since then, the teams seem to have cleaned it up. But a costly penalty there for the Prowlers.
Penalty, repeat, first down.
First down and 15. The give is to Arnwine. Arnwine trying to cut it outside, and she's tripped up at the 35-yard line. She loses a couple.
Finally stopped by Casanova.
And a timeout will be called by the Prowlers with 4:09 to go in this contest. Phoenix looking to put together one final offensive possession before their season comes to a close. They'd love to put some points on the board. We'll take a break with them. 4:09 to go, 28-6. Las Cruces leads Phoenix here in the latter stages of the fourth quarter. You're tuned in to the WNFC TV Game of the Week. .409 to go, 28-6. Las Cruces leads Phoenix. Second down and 17 here in the fourth quarter. Prowlers looking to move it in the right direction. Danielle Harrison will work out of the gun. Direct snap to Chelsea Arnwine. Arnwine going to take this one right up the middle, inside the 20. Still on her feet. She lost the ball. Las Cruces will have it at around the 15-yard line. There's a flag on the field, and that may do it. We've got a Prowler injured. That's Danielle Harrison grabbing her knee. And to add insult to injury, the trainers will run out and check on the starting quarterback. Harrison grabbing her right knee, and she looks to be in some severe pain. 3:54 left in this game, 28-6. Las Cruces leads Phoenix. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this. You're tuned in to the WNFC TV Game of the Week.
Remember when I said you should call it? Remember when we all said that? Maybe they should listen to people who have no stake in
Being helped off the field was quarterback Danielle Harrison, and she will be attended to on the sideline. 3:54 to go in this game. Las Cruces leads 28-6, and all they need to do is just keep the ball in play and pick up a couple of first downs, and they will seal this contest. Too many men were on the field for Phoenix. This penalty will be declined. We'll see if they keep the clock moving. They do. 28-6 our score. It took the referees a little bit to find out that there were too many men on the field. At the tail end of the play, the one player finally was running off of the field.
Penalty against the defense.
We'll see where they spot this ball. Be at the 32-yard line. Phoenix may have too many men on the field yet again. And they had to use a timeout.
Timeout, Prowlers.
One of the linemen didn't know if she needed to be in or not. And the Prowlers have called a timeout with 3:05 left in this game. 28-6, Las Cruces leads.
There is nothing to talk about. You're narrating absolutely nothing. Narrating my thoughts.
3:05 to go. First down and 10 for Las Cruces. 28-6 here in the fourth quarter. Tagaloa under center. Tagaloa hands off to her tailback, who charges forward and picks up a yard. Gets the clock moving. I believe one more first down will seal this for Las Cruces. It'll be second down and 3 following the penalties. Tagaloa again under center, flips it back, gets it over to Escoto, and Escoto picks up the first down, and that should do it. 2:20 to go in this fourth quarter of play. Clock will be running. Take a couple of knees, and that will wrap it up. Las Cruces will close out the season with a record of 4-2. Phoenix will see their season come to a close at 0-5. On first down and 10. Run to the far side, cut back in, and after slipping away from a few tackles, ball carrier's hurt. That's Nicole Matheson, who is shaken up after the tackle made.
Official timeout for injuries.
A minute 25 left in this game. 28-6. Las Cruces leads Phoenix. And an injury timeout as they attend to the Las Cruces ball carrier. That is Nicole Matheson, who got the scoring started early this evening with a big burst for a 61-yard touchdown run. She's able to walk off the field. Must have just been a cramp. She'll sit out a play and then return to action. 2nd down and 3 coming out of this stoppage. Keeping it is Tugaloa. Tugaloa gonna cut back in, and she is taken down in bounds. They'll spot it at the 48-yard line. Third down and 1. Las Cruces just needs to get this one, and that will do it. We are under a minute to play. Little confusion. Keeping it is Tugaloa, and she's going to get pulled towards the first down and more. They'll spot her in Prowler territory. She's down at the 47. That's a first down, and I don't even know if they'll have to snap it one more time. We have a Prowler down. They're trying to help her up, and all is well.
First down, Las Cruces.
Well, half of the huddle broke. The other half now is breaking. They may run one more play, and that'll be it. Under center is Tugaloa. Tugaloa will take a knee right at the 50, and that will do it as the final 10 seconds tick off. Final score here tonight. Las Cruces defeats Phoenix by a final of 28-6. Las Cruces ends their season at 4-2 overall, while Phoenix falls to 0-5 overall and sees their season come to a close. For my broadcast partner, Brittany Boyer, and our entire crew here for the Varsity Sports Show bringing you tonight's ball game, I'm Derek Diesner saying so long from Buckeye Union High School. Final score, Las Cruces 28, Phoenix 6. You have been tuned in to the WNFC TV Game of the Week. Good night, everyone.